What is up, y'all? Welcome back to my channel. So this video is going to be me basically doing an Inside Out 2 makeup inspired by anxiety with the new characters. So I took my Danessa Myricks Beauty Yummy Skin Water Powder Serum, and I'm basically just priming my face with this. I make sure it's like all over my face pretty even, and this is actually sold out on her website, and I pray that she stocks up before I run out, because I'm like halfway through mine. Now I'm taking the Essence this is like the Stay Put or something like that. It's a jelly primer basically, kind of like the Hydro Grip, but I'm just making sure that this is also even around my face. I usually do like 2 primers, like I do a mattifying one and then usually like a blurring or something else like that. And now I'm just taking my Got2b gel. This is the black one, and I'm just using a disposable spoolie to run through my brows. And I don't know, I feel like I brushed my brows like into place. I don't do too much of like trying to make them look laminated or whatever, but I just wanted to go ahead and use this before I went in with my color fix. You don't necessarily have to. I just did this a while ago. This was like my old technique, but now I don't even go through with the ultra glued gel from Got2b. But I'm taking this, I believe this is Hot Fire. So if you hear any noise in the background, it's Shadow playing with his toy. But Hot Fire is basically one of the liquid metals color fix from the Danessa Myricks Beauty, and I'm just making sure that I brush it evenly through my brow, so my brow actually looks like one solid color, if that makes sense. And I actually like the ginger brow. I feel like it looks so good on me. Oh my god. And I feel like it goes on my hair too. But I'm taking my Thread Beauty Cover. This is a concealer in the shade 7 or golden brown, I believe. And yeah, I'm just making sure I carve out my brow, make them look a little crisp or whatever. And I'm just blending this out before I take my eyeshadow base from Slayer Day Cosmetics and then apply it to my eyes. So the eyeshadow base that I'm using is called Nefertiti, and it is from Slayer Day Cosmetics, which is a black owned brand. And I don't always use the eyeshadow base. Usually I'll either use the eyeshadow base, or I'm going to take my concealer I'm putting underneath my brow and just basically like put it all over my eye area. And I like to just make sure if I'm using eyeshadow base, I try to blend it as well into my under eye, my underbrow like concealer, so it doesn't look like there's like 2 stark differences. And then I always set my eyeshadow base, always, especially because I have oily skin and I have creases, and if I don't set it, it's going to look crazy. Like just trust me on it. But everyone's skin is different, so I want y'all to remember that whenever you're like looking at anyone's like makeup videos. Some techniques may be able to work for you, but you have to think about what type of skin you have, like what are things that you like with your makeup, because everyone doesn't have the same like makeup style, if that makes any sense. But I'm taking my Beauty Bay Fiery 2.0 palette, and I love this palette, especially for like fall now. It's so cute. Like there's reds, there's oranges, there's some yellows and whatnot. But basically I'm taking this orange shade, and this is going to be basically like my lighter shade that I use, and I'm just blending it out to just create like a little base color, and then I'll go in with a couple of deeper shades just to create a little bit more value and dimension. So I really like these 42 color palettes. I get them from Beauty Bay, and it's based in like the UK. So if you live in the US or whatever, like it is going to take you a second to like actually get it. I feel like it usually ships between a week or 2 of like me placing my order. It just depends on like the time and like if any of the products I got were like new releases or whatever. And then it might take like a week or 2 to actually like ship to me. So I say if you're trying to get this palette for a certain season or a certain occasion, you definitely want to try to order it as soon as possible, just so you can make sure you get it like in time, especially with customs and stuff. And then it's so much shit going on. So yeah, think about that when you're ordering your products and whatnot. But now I'm taking like more of an orangey orange shade. Like the first one I feel like was more of like a pastel orange, but I like to go back and forth with my brushes. Sometimes you will see me use 2 different brushes. Like if you like look closely, like I'll be switching between brushes, and it's because I want to make sure that there's a seamless transition throughout the shade, so it doesn't just look like I put one eyeshadow right here, then I put a completely different eyeshadow, and it doesn't look like, I don't know, as smooth as possible. This is something that I've like had to work on like throughout like me doing makeup. Like it did not take overnight. I mean, it didn't take like 2 seconds for me to get to this with my technique. It took a lot of practice, like to say the least. Like I feel like my makeup style has just evolved so much, but it has to come from just me doing my makeup for like, I don't want to say no reason, but just doing my makeup consistently, throughout the years, especially during high school and early college. Like I would just do my makeup just to be doing my makeup, and now I kind of just do my makeup because I'm like, okay, I want to do these looks, especially for spooky season. Like I'm like, okay, I want to do all these looks and whatnot, and I'm already planning looks for Christmas. Like I'm just really getting excited. I'm just trying to make sure I have enough time to actually film the videos and actually edit the videos, do the voiceovers and whatnot. But I think I'm gonna actually end up getting a camera at some point to record my videos, because one, I record my stuff on a like iPhone, and I think it's the XS or something. I don't even know, but it is one of the older models, and I don't mind it. But I feel like when I look at my videos, I'm like, oh, this shit look blurry. I'm like, oh no, like, because it doesn't look blurry when I upload it or I'm editing the videos, so I just be upset. But I also need to just get something else, because I be running out of storage. I'm not gonna lie to you. I be running out of storage, and then sometimes it's like, okay, you can't record, or it's like, oh, we can't download this video, and I'm like, bruh, like, I ain't got time for all this foolishness. So that's something that I'm going to look into. I'm trying to figure out which camera. I want it to be a camera that I can actually see myself when I'm recording, because I feel like that helps me just, you know, stay in frame and make sure that I'm not just like completely out of frame, or like you can only see part of my head or whatever. So that is something I'll be trying to look forward to, especially with, like, you know, the holiday season come up. I'm gonna be like, this is gonna be my Christmas gift, because I'm really trying to invest more into my craft, and I feel like I really have throughout the last year. But like, I don't know, I feel like there's just this turning point with like my creation, like my career and whatnot, and I love to see it. So I didn't get to mention it because I was over here yapping, but that blue you see is a holographic eye paint from About Face. And now I'm taking my Essence liquid liner. This is a super precise eyeliner. I like to line basically like above my like top lash line. I feel like, I don't know, it just helps the lashes blend in better, and I feel like it just tightens up the look. So I'm taking my Made by Mitchell. This is the Bulk Balm, and I'm basically just cleaning up above my brows. I like to do either a color that's like similar to my skin, or like maybe like one shade like that's a little bit lighter. I don't like, well, I don't want to say I don't like, but I try not to use like the same concealer I use underneath my brow, above my brow, because it does create that halo effect. But sometimes I don't care. Sometimes I do not care, but it just depends on like the look and like how much time I have, because when I'm getting ready for work, and like I don't have that much time, I don't really care. I'm just like, I need to put something on my face, get it done, and get out this house, you feel me? But I'm just blending out my foundation. This is the About Face, the Performer Foundation, and I have not used this foundation in a good little minute, so I think I'm going to use it with the upcoming spooky season look. So y'all will see if I actually use it or not. But I'm trying to basically like switch up my makeup products every now and then, because like I'll get in the habit, I'm like, oh, I love how this looks on my skin, then I'll like stick to this one product, but then I'm like, okay, let me go back and like, you know, actually use these other products because I like them for a reason. Now that I blended my foundation, I am going to take that Thread Beauty concealer, and I believe these are like $8 at Target. I feel like they're a pretty good quality, I'm not gonna lie. Like, this is probably my most used concealer other than my Danessa Myricks Beauty like Lift and Flex like concealer, and I like that one because one, it's like a smaller brush, and like it's easier for me to get like really close to my brow and also in my eyebrow slit, so that's why I like that one. This one has a bigger applicator, which I don't mind, especially when it comes to like adding like concealer to like the areas of my face that are bigger, so underneath my eye and like my forehead and stuff. But yeah, I always like blend out my concealer after my foundation, and then you'll see me take a bronzer or a contour to, you know, go ahead and bronze or contour my face, and then I'll spray it with a hydrating setting spray just to keep like some moisture in, especially because when I did this look, I had just did a makeup look literally like 30 minutes. I had literally just finished like 30 minutes prior, then I literally had to take pictures and then just take off my makeup. So I like to try and make sure like I think about my skin's integrity, because I don't want to like mess up my skin or like cause my skin to have any breakouts or dry out or whatever, especially when I'm using certain products that may be a little bit more drying. But I'm taking my Danessa Myricks Beauty. This is the Power Evolution bronzer contour, I don't know, I can't remember what it's called, but I like this shade, and I actually like the consistency of this product. I probably should have used a bigger like flat brush, but this is probably the only one I could find that was clean. So yeah, I don't do too much on my nose because I feel like I don't like too harsh of a like contour or bronze. So this may look like it's too harsh of like a stark difference, but just trust the process, like for real, because once I actually blend all of this bronzer out, I'm going to take my foundation brush and just like blend around the edges so that like it just creates a more seamless transition. And yeah, I make sure I do like my forehead, my cheekbones, then like the perimeters of my face. And then I always take a smaller brush to blend out like my nose contour bronze. And this is the hydrating setting spray that I was talking about. This is from Beauty Crop. I got it from Beauty Bay, but it's basically the Wheat Cherry setting spray. And now I'm taking my Evolution powder in Deep Peach. This is one of my favorite powders, I'm not gonna lie to you. The Evolution powders from the Mesmerized Beauty, they just, I don't even know how to explain it, but they're just so smooth, and I'm kind of stuck with them. Like, I only use this one to set my under eyes on a consistent basis. I might use my RCMA no color powder every now and then, but I'm usually using this Evolution powder. And I also use the Evolution powder in 4 to basically set my entire face. And I take a big brush to basically just make it like, I don't want to say airbrush effect, but I just want to make sure I can cover as much of my face as possible. And then once I actually set my entire face with that Evolution powder, I am going to go in with a bronzer and then actually bronze my face. And then if I need to, I'll like take this powder, like the big brush, and just go back over everything just to create even more of a seamless transition. But this bronzer is actually one of the bronze pots by Made by Mitchell. I have 2 of them. This is the one that I use the most because I feel like it's not too cool for me. Like the other one, I feel like it's a little bit darker, and I'm glad that it's a little bit darker, but the undertones are not necessarily my favorite because I'm more of a warm person when it comes to like my skin products and whatnot. When I'm taking the Thread Beauty, this is the Prep Prime and setting spray, and I just make sure I set my face after I actually add all that powder. And then you see me going in with one of the Yummy, what's it called? The Yummy Skin Blurring Balm Powder Flushed from the Mesmerized Beauty, and I believe this is the shade Golden Hour, which is this orange shade, and it's basically like a cream blush that slick dries down to like a powder. That's how all the like blurring balm powders, like products that she has, kind of does. And I'm taking my Juvia's Place like blush duo. I can't remember which one this volume is, my bad. But I like the orange one on top. I don't really use the one on bottom because I feel like that's probably gonna make me look crazy. But I'm taking that holographic eye paint that I used earlier, and I'm just doing another layer just to make it look a little bit more vibrant and vivid because I feel like it just looked dulled out for some reason. Now I'm going back in with my Beauty Bay Fiery 2.0 palette, and I'm going underneath my eye. I always like put eyeshadow underneath my eye to make it just look like a more cohesive look. I don't know, when I first did my makeup for a long time, I never really did like eyeshadow and stuff underneath my eye. I didn't even put anything in my waterline. But within the last year or so, I've added this little step to my technique and like my makeup process, and I feel like it just is different. It really does. And I'm taking my Lightwork Volume 2 palette from the Mesmerized Beauty, and I'm taking this like coppery like red tone shade because I felt like it just went with like the vibe that's going on, especially because I was doing anxiety for this makeup look. And yeah, I highlight a lot of my face, I'm not gonna lie to you. Like my cheekbones, I do it underneath my brows, I do it on my nose, a little bit on my forehead, and sometimes either above my lip or on my chin. It just depends on the look. If you hear Shadow like making this sound, he's trying to chew his tire that he has. But anyways, I'm drawing my moles back on with that same eyeliner I used above my eyes, and I always draw my moles back on because I want them to pop more. And I did draw some extra moles on because like, I have random acne bumps and stuff. But I'm taking the About Face Shadow Stick in Kill the Lights, one of my favorite products. Like, this is essential to my makeup process at this point. But I line my waterline just to create more of a smoky eye effect. I don't know, I just feel like it hits. Like, I know a lot of people don't necessarily like the smoky eye underneath their eye, but it just adds something to it. I don't know. And now I'm taking my About Face. This is a 1994 mascara, and I'm just going above my eye, going ahead to, add my mascara at this point before I move on and do a couple other things to my makeup look. So of course I gotta be even more extra than I already am with this look, and I'm taking my Manic Gems glue and I'm adding these rhinestones. These are the mermaid rhinestones from Get Stone. I'm adding them to my eyebrow slit. I love adding these rhinestones to my eyebrow slit. I feel like it's just like something that's like become like my makeup look. Like, I don't know, it just feels so weird when I don't do it, but I usually only don't do it when I don't have time. And I decided to just go ahead and add these rhinestones above like the little halo eye that I was doing, because I felt like it just needed something. And of course, you know, it's either gonna be glitter or rhinestones. But when I do this, like, I had to cut out so much footage, because one, I didn't feel like editing all that footage, and I was like, who wants to sit here and look at this entire step, me taking like 5-6 minutes to put these rhinestones on? I don't. But I know, like, I don't know, I try to shorten the videos as much as possible, because my makeup looks can take a little bit longer. Like, I had about an hour and a couple change like minutes for this look, but some of my looks will take 2 to 4 hours. But yeah, so this is the like idea I was going based off of. And did it look exactly like this? No, but shh, just vibe, y'all, just vibe. Especially doing this on my face, like, I feel like I did a pretty good job. And it's so funny because one of my little cousins was like, oh my gosh, your anxiety, and she kept calling me anxiety like the entire time that we watched the movie and stuff. And I just loved it, because I don't know, I feel like I would have loved to have a cousin like this. Like, not to toot my own horn, but I would have been ecstatic to go to the movies with one of my older cousins, and they have like makeup inspired by the movie we're watching. I don't know, I just try to be the change, I guess. Like, I don't know, it just feels different when you have like people in your life who truly love and care about you, and like they just love you for who you are. And I'm glad that I can be accepted for who I am, because I know for a while I felt like I had to be someone else, because I felt like I would lose the love and like lose the support in my life. But as I see now, like, it's not like, that's not the case. But anyways, let me get back to the video. So I'm taking my Danessa Myricks Beauty Color Fix. This is one of the matte ones in the Lift, which is basically a white shade. So I like to add like a base layer to like my face art designs, just to like make it like pop more when I add the other colors on top. But I'm filling in this space, and as you see, like, some of my like foundation stuff is blending in with it, but that's okay. But I'm going to go ahead and set it with my RCMA powder. This does dry down matte, but I was in a rush and I need to make sure that it dried down as fast as possible. So I also just added the RCMA powder just to help it just dry down a little bit faster and be a little bit like more opaque, because some spots were like a little bit like thinner or weren't as opaque as others. And then that was just a little check-in or whatever. And as you see, like, the white pops a little bit more after like I already have a base layer done. So I'm just going over like this one base layer, and I'm just adding another base layer, then I will set it in a second. So here I am actually adding the RCMA powder all over this white area just to set it again. And then I'm going to go in with the colors. I try to do it step by step. Whenever I'm adding like color fix to my face, if I'm like doing like face art or whatever, I try to do areas that aren't necessarily right beside each other, so nothing blends together or like, you know, gets messed up or gets muddled up or whatever. So whenever I'm doing like face art, like, I'll switch up my brushes. I use like a like pointed like liner brush earlier to do like the random like streaks of hair, and then you see me going in with a different couple of brushes that are more like curved and they're flatter. That way I can try and get as opaque of like, you know, a color going on. But I'm basically just outlining the areas that I knew were going to be orange, and I'm just going back and forth. And yeah, I'll add some yellow in a second, just like make it pop a little bit more. And yeah, just stay tuned. We're almost done with the look. Like, these looks, Lord have mercy, like, I was like, oh my god, it's so much to just edit it. But I just love seeing the process and just seeing myself be able to create certain looks, because I knew this time last year I can do this. And it's so funny to be like seeing myself in a different perspective of like the last year, because so much stuff has changed. So much stuff has changed, and I feel like it's been good change, even though, you know, sometimes I want to bawl my eyes out or just scream, but you know, it is what it is. But I'm adding this yellow in a couple different areas just to create a little bit more dimension and value, so it doesn't just look as flat. But you know, you don't necessarily have to do this, but it's just something that I like to do. And I've been really thinking about if I want to do face art, like, I mean face paint. I don't know, like, I've been doing makeup for, like, you know, different clients and stuff, like actual like makeup, but I feel like it would kind of be fun to get back into the face art game, like for maybe like birthday parties or special events. And I really want to do special effects makeup, like, I mean, so for real, like, I genuinely want to do that. But I'm just taking black, this is a color fix, it's called Blackout, and I'm basically just outlining the shapes of the teeth, and then I'll fill in the gaps in between it, if it makes sense. Now I end up actually going back in with the white, okay, so that's lift, just to like make the teeth look a little bit like bigger, because I feel like I made them too small or whatever. But you have to make sure that you're letting stuff dry if you're trying to go over something or trying to fix something. Please make sure it's dry before you do all that, or you're gonna be over here crying because now you gotta fix something up. So a little tip or whatever, if you're trying to do like a circle, you could use the bottom of a brush and basically use that to make a circle. That's like something I've done like with my actual like visual art, if that makes sense. And now I'm trying to let that dry down before I go in and like finish any details. So I'm going in with that same mascara, the 1994 mascara, and I'm basically just adding it to my bottom lashes. I always have to add some bottom mascara, and I've been wanting to add like bottom lashes too, but sometimes, like, I don't know, they're so hard, because like the ones I really like, I feel like they're so fragile that like every time I try to take them out the container, like they break apart. But like the ones that are sold in stores, I feel like they're too damn big sometimes. So I'm like, what am I gonna do? But I gotta figure something out, because it just adds a different like vibe to your like makeup look if you add bottom lashes. It's not something that I would do every single day, but for my more dramatic makeup looks. And like I said, I was going back in with Lift, that white color fix, just to like touch up the teeth and make them look a little bit bigger, because I feel like they were a little bit too small. And I know Anxiety don't look exactly how she's supposed to be looking or whatever, but you know, she looked good enough. She looks good enough. And I was just adding some more like little like random like hair details in. Then I added like black to the middle of the eyes for like pupils, and then I mixed like some colors together to make like basically like a brown shade. And to line basically this like art or whatever, I'm taking that Essence like super precise eyeliner, because I feel like it was just easier to like maneuver with, and I didn't have to worry about it being like trying to get like an actual like pointed brush and like messing it up or whatever. I felt like this was just the easiest, especially with the time frame I was working with, because baby, I was almost late. Like I was almost so late to the movie, but I got there in time and everything. So yeah, this is just me adding those final little details to this before I actually add my lashes and my lip combo. So just a heads up, when I am doing this line work, I do switch up like my arm movements or like how I'm lining it, just to like fit more of like the curve and stuff. I do them in shorter like increments, that way like I feel like it's easier, like you don't mess up because you're trying to do like one whole movement in once. And I don't know, that's just something I do with my like actual like art and stuff. But I added some different like brush strokes to the eyebrows, so it looks a little bit more dimensional. And I'm just adding random like black lines to like the hair, you know, just to have, you know, the little pop. I would have added white, but baby, I didn't have time for all that. I really did not. But yeah, I'm basically almost done with the actual like face art design, and now I'm taking my lashes from Plushy Lash. I can't remember which ones these are, but they'll be down below in the description box. I love these lashes from Plushy Lash. I feel like they actually really do well with like with my eye shape and stuff. They're probably one of my favorite like lashes right now, just as like a company or whatever. I also love Eye Envy lashes, but I take my Eye Envy black lash glue and I add it to both lashes, and I kind of let it dry for a second before I put them on. But you don't want them to be too dry that it's not able to stick on your face. But it did not take 2 seconds for me to do this, like just a heads up, like it took me a good minute. For my lip combo, this is almost the same lip combo. Well, I use this like black. It's not even black. It's like a dark brown, like liquid lipstick from Jadora Cosmetics. This is something I use almost every time I do my lip combo if it's going to be a nude color. But the description box will have all the details and whatnot. But we're basically at the end of the video. I just want to say thank y'all so much for watching this video. If y'all have any ideas or suggestions for makeup videos or just videos overall, just please let me know. And I just want to say thank you for all your support, and I will talk to y'all later. Bye.